The meeting goes well, but the voice of her father, it's reminiscent of that of the Phantasm. Uh-oh. We also discover the councilman used to work for him.
Don't mind me, I was just leaving.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Arthur Reeves, one of the hot young Turks from my legal department.
Nice to meet you. I had no idea Reeves was a Turkish name. Bruce seems to hit it off, especially because Mr. Beaumont places such an emphasis on family, meaning that not only is Andrea the perfect woman, she comes with something that has been absent from Bruce's life, save for his butler. Unfortunately, speaking of family, the crime variety has shown up. Bruce can tell, and Beaumont is clearly being forced to tolerate his presence. But keep in mind that Gotham is so overrun with crime that it's unlikely that Beaumont is corrupt so much as powerless in the face of organized crime. The problem is so rampant that they barely get out the front door before a gang is trying to rob some poor street vendor, and Bruce refuses to do nothing. This is something that would never happen when Batman existed, because as I said, Bruce Wayne is the mask. Bruce Wayne would never do anything to suggest that he wasn't a trust fund nincompoop, meaning one of two things. First, that he hasn't reached that point yet, where he's made that choice. But with or without a mask, he is brilliant. This would have already occurred to him. I think he did it because he just had to walk away from the mob shaking down the father of the woman he loves, of someone he hopes to make family. This is something that he can at least try to do something about. This is some way of trying to strike back, even if it's not the most prudent thing. Hey, I really am good. Now I just need a name that will terrify people. Thank you. Batman, that'll work. I'm certainly afraid of being hit by a bat again.
You're all right. I was so frightened. Come on, let me have a look at you.
You ever thought about maybe wearing some padding when you do something so stupid? Leave me alone. I'm going home to design my costume. Make sure to include some hockey pads. I'm not wearing hockey pads! Back at home, Bruce realizes that he can't have it both ways. He can't fight criminals in this city while he has Andrea waiting for him at home. This is, in essence, the last chance to rescue Bruce Wayne, his last chance to choose a normal life instead of devoting himself and all he has to fighting against crime. He goes to the grave of his parents to plead his case, to not have to follow through on his promise.
Look, I can give money to the city. They can hire more cops. Let someone else take the risk. But it's different now.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Please. I need it to be different now. I know I made a promise, but I didn't see this coming. I didn't count on being happy.
The effectiveness of Kevin Conroy at capturing the tone of Batman is often praised, but it should be equally noted how well he gives humanity to Bruce Wayne. Because as we see here, for this brief time, Bruce Wayne might just have a chance to get back the life that was taken by a punk with a gun. Back in the present, Councilman Reeves gets invited for a ride by Valestra, the mobster that had met with Beaumont that day, wanting to know if it's true that Batman has snapped and started murdering mobsters. And the thought of it... If only I had one of my cigars, then I'd feel better. Batman isn't looking to murder him, of course. He's looking into the connection between the victims, and figures out that Valestra was in business with them back in the day. And speaking of back in the day, looking at old photos of the gangster's glory days reminds him of the day that he proposed to Andrea. A perfect moment. And after all the trouble I went through to time them just right, I don't understand women. This shows the efficiency of the story. Not only is this what first puts the ideas of bats in Bruce's mind and introduces him to the cave, but it also shows how the Batman is incompatible with the life of Bruce Wayne as it is currently unfolding. But of course, we know it won't unfold that way, and we see why when he brings her home and the crooks are already there. The next day, Andrea sends the ring back, breaking off the engagement and their relationship. As you can guess, those crooks had something to do with it, and I bet they'd regret it if they knew that by doing so, they took away the only thing that could have prevented there from ever being a Dark Knight. Well, that and a shortage of tights, of course. The operatic aspect of it so effectively shows how Batman is not like other heroes. Now let Gotham City know that criminals will face the justice of Batman. I thought it was supposed to be Batman, sir. Oh, when you wrote it down, I thought it was, like Bateman, but without the E. No, it's... No, I got it now. I got it, thanks. I'm Batman. I'm Batman. I'm Batman. It doesn't sound good at all, I don't think. Batman. No, but should we maybe focus group this or something? Because I'm just not feeling it here. Back in the present, Valestra heads to the wrecked remnants of the World's Fair, where he finds none other than the Joker, which for a man with a medical condition really isn't very good for your long-term health. Or short-term either. Not to mention your sanity.
You know, I've been reading lately how old Guano Man is wound tight enough to snap. Wouldn't it be great if I'd finally driven him off the deep end?
This isn't a joke.
Dream big, but it's the little goals that keep you going. Valestra wants to hire Joker to kill Batman before Batman gets to him, but Joker's not really the mercenary type. Still, he has plans. If nothing else, it'll satisfy his curiosity on whether or not Batman has finally flipped out, though that's stretching things. Anyway, Batman has broken into his ex-fiancee's hotel room and stood there in the dark until she came home. Perfectly sane. He wants to know about the picture of Mr. Beaumont with those crooks, but she plays dumb. Actually, she projects irritation.
You still following your dad's orders?
The way I see it, the only one in this room controlled by his parents is you.
Ouch, that's below the utility belt. He leaves, but afterwards... That was my favorite drinking glass. Later that night, the Phantasm appears at Valestra's place to end him, unaware that the Joker took care of him first, using the corpse as bait to see if Batman really would show up. But he's delighted that there's a new lunatic in town. To kill. Killing you is how the Joker says hello. Well, this activity has also drawn the attention of Batman, who races in and finally confronts the Phantasm. But the fight draws the attention of the cops, who of course think that he's responsible for all those other murders and probably the bombing, so he has to make a run for it against people trying to kill him, and he can't fight back. It'd be wrong to hurt the cops.
Hey, wait!
Well, maybe not that guy, but in general terms.